Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to a gameplay commentary on Halo 5. And that feels very strange to say, because I've not said that in a very long time. In fact, I've never said a gameplay commentary in Halo 5. I guess this is my first ever commentary on Halo 5, and probably going to be my only ever commentary that I'm going to do on Halo 5. So, yeah, if this means nothing to you, let me just explain who I am. Those of you who have been around Halo Zone for a while might remember me. Basically, I used to be a director on this channel. Basically when the channel started, I was amongst the first wave of the YouTubers that made videos for this channel. I also was a Halo YouTuber myself, of course, and I did that for quite a few years. But then eventually, I kind of moved away from doing videos on Halo, and I've eventually kind of moved to doing mainly Minecraft videos. But I do a whole bunch of different games, but none of them are Halo anymore. So obviously, I stopped kind of doing videos for here. But I don't know, I still kept playing Halo, and I still enjoyed Halo, and I always watched lots of Halo videos still. And so I guess I kind of left the community in terms of the fact that I stopped making videos, but I never feel like I've been away from the Halo community, because, you know, I've just been as involved with it, but just kind of as a viewer rather than as a creator, I guess. So yeah, I just kind of had the feeling of going back and doing a Halo commentary again. So yeah. This is that video, I guess, then. So what is this then? What are we playing? So this is Fathom, and we're playing Assault. And I recorded this video when they first added Assault. I think it was kind of that first week when it was added. So this gameplay's a little bit old, and I've not watched it since I played the game. So I was basically kind of just playing around with theater mode, and I thought I'm just going to record this game. So I remember there must have been something about this game. I think it was a close game. So I had a bad habit of when I used to do Halo videos of only posting the games when I absolutely destroy. So all of my gameplay would be like, yeah, like I die once and get 50 kills or something. You know, I'd only show the best games. But the problem is, though, even though I'm saying, yeah, look how good I am, or like, you know, trying to get montage clips or whatever, which I never really played like that, but, you know, like I kind of only showed it when I was doing really well. The problem is there'd be no tension, you know, there'd be no excitement. And so, yeah, I tried to make sure that for this video, I'd go and make sure that there's at least some tension, at least like the other team put up a fight, and there we go, there I am jumping down into the water. So I'm not the best Halo player. I think I'm definitely not as good as I used to be. I think there was a period during the Halo 3 Halo Reach days where I got pretty decent. You know, I would probably more often than not be at least within the top 3 players at the end of the game, or possibly, you know, the top player. And I never really look at stats too much. Like, I've never been a KD person. I've never cared about that. You know, I've always played to win. So the way I think about it is I don't consider myself a competitive player, and by that I mean I don't consider myself the type of person that cares about winning. I think when I say to people, you know, I'm competitive, you know, they might think, oh, that means that he really wants to win and he's going to get annoyed if he loses. But that's not the case. I just like competition. I like feeling competition, and whether I win or not is, you know, one thing or the other. But, you know, I kind of just playing for the fun of playing is really what I'm all about. So I don't really have any plans for what I'm going to talk about in this commentary. I kind of assumed I'd mainly talk about the gameplay, but seeing as this is my first commentary on Halo 5, even though it's quite late, I think I might as well give a brief summary of what I think of the game. So the fact I'm uploading a video about it, and the fact, as I mentioned before, that I'm playing it, I obviously like it. You know, I wouldn't play a game if I didn't like it. I think it's a world better than Halo 4. There were really good things about Halo 4, but ultimately it was flawed, and I think there's lots of very specific problems with it. But I think the main thing it came down to is the fact that it was trying to cater to competitive players and casual players in the same game types. And so by that, what I mean is it tried to kind of have a middle ground where the competitive guys can have some fun and the casual guys can have some fun as well. But ultimately, neither side is completely happy because, oh, sorry, I just credited my teammate there. Yeah, neither side is completely happy just because it's not specifically for them. And I think what they've done a good job of here is really splitting it up. So if you're playing Team Arena, the chances are you're going to be pretty serious about playing Halo, or you kind of just stumbled into the wrong playlist. But, you know, if you're playing Warzone, you know, the chances are you're more of a casual player. And that's not to say, you know, that a competitive player can't play Warzone, but, you know, there's just a lot of more randomness there. And then the whole rec pack system, which we're going to get to in a minute. Yeah, that whole system is much more geared towards casual players. And then, of course, there are playlists as well in the in Arena, things like Griffball, and then I think Infection's coming out soon if it's not out already. I haven't actually played it in a while. So yeah, there are playlists kind of specifically for the more casual players. They basically kind of split the two audiences, and so that means they could really make the Team Arena playlist, you know, really for hardcore players, and then the casual playlist, you know, can be specifically for the more casual players. And I think ultimately everyone's happy because of that. I like the new movement option. So I've never been a big fan of sprint. And the reason I've not been a big fan of sprint is because of the way it changes the size of the maps. Because you can get from one side of the map to the other so quickly, I think it kind of just changes the entire pace of the game. So personally, I'm not a fan of sprint, but I'm glad they added sprint because I think ultimately more people will like sprint. And if it gets more people playing Halo, then I kind of consider that a good thing. And I don't mind sprint that much. I just kind of slightly prefer it without sprint. And I think the whole factor that your shield doesn't go up if you're sprinting, I think kind of really balances it out really well. So yeah, ultimately I think that's good. I kind of hinted to it a little bit earlier. I'm not a fan of the rec pack system. Any system which means that if you put money into the game, you're going to have an advantage, I don't like. And you don't have to, like, I've not bought any rec packs, you know, and I feel like I haven't got a huge disadvantage. But there's been times in a game where I feel like, right, if I could spawn in a Banshee now, we might be able to win the game, but I don't have any Banshee cards, so we're not going to win. But if I bought loads and loads of cards, I might have a Banshee card, so we might win the game, you know? It ultimately comes down to the fact that if someone put more money into the game, that might help them win. And even though I think it is balanced pretty well to where, you know, you still kind of have to get up to that point where you can afford to bring the rec in and stuff. Like, I feel like if I did it again, why did I pick this game to upload? I just, like, killed myself twice. So yeah, even though it is balanced quite well, I still don't like the fact that things outside of the gameplay could affect, you know, what is happening inside of the game, which is really what is happening. So I'm not a fan of that. But overall, I like the game. I think it looks good. I think it runs well, and I kind of like the the sandbox that the game has created. I don't think that I like watching it, like watching competitive gameplay. Like, I've always enjoyed watching competitive Halo, like especially when it was in its prime. I don't enjoy it as much just because of the pace of the game. I just feel that because, once again, mainly because of sprint, because of the pace of the game, I feel like it's harder to follow. I feel like games can kind of get a little bit too hectic and a little bit all over the place, and then there's people running everywhere, and it's kind of hard to keep up where everyone is and where all of the like a player's teammates are, and like, I think that is a bit of a problem because it makes it more difficult. You're kind of just looking at more individual gunfights rather than seeing everything that's happening. And I think for that reason, it's probably harder to follow. But I think ultimately a lot more people would be happy because it's a lot more action-packed. You know, there's always kind of action happening on the screen, whereas on some of the older Halo games, especially I think Halo 2 and 3, kind of the pace could slow down. And look at me here, what am I doing? There's a guy on the other side of this big tube, and I'm kind of just like running around. Where's he gone? I'm like, oh, here we go. That's my standard strategy. Throw a grenade one way and then run around the other way. Sadly, it looks like it didn't work out there. Has this game been good, by the way? I haven't really been paying attention very well, and every time I kind of look up and really concentrate on what's happening, I'm kind of just dying or failing. I guess we've got to be doing okay. So what's going on? Let's focus on the gameplay for a little bit then. So there's 3.5 minutes left. And looks like we've almost got the bomb to their area. So you can see that my teammate died. I tried to back off, but sadly I died as well. But that's actually okay, because we both died on their side at a similar time. We're going to both respawn together, and that means that if we take out their players now, we can kind of have a big push in. Sadly, I wasn't watching the right, so what I always say is kind of when attacking someone, always be like very aware of the people you're not fighting. I think if you're on like what seems to be a one-on-one fight, it's very easy to focus on that fight and not think, oh, someone could push up from the side of me here as well, and then that's when you go and get caught out. And I think that looking at this gameplay, that's something that I've probably not been doing particularly well in this gameplay here. So Oh yeah, that's kind of something I want to talk about. I don't want to start giving you tips simply because I don't have a huge amount of time to play Halo. So I've definitely been playing Halo 5 much more casually than I have the last one. So I feel that the chances are, if you're watching this, you're a better Halo player than I am. So I don't want to start giving tips. But look at that sweet double kill though. Right then, so what's going on? So we got the bomb pretty close. It looks like I've got all of my team pushing up on the same side as me, and they've all started spawning. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to run for it and die. This is the worst gameplay ever. I must have played this game and then just thought, right, this is the one I'm going to upload to YouTube. But watching it back now, I have no idea why. Maybe I did really good at the beginning, but I missed that. I don't know, I guess maybe it's going to have a good ending. It is tense. See, this is what I wanted though. I did want a tense game, and so look, we've got like 2 minutes left, and no one scored yet, and all of my team just died, so I don't want to push in there, because if I die now, it's going to be a really bad situation for all of us, so I'm kind of just trying to cover while the rest of my team push up, and this is an amazing position. So you can see they're all pushing across me to try and get to the bomb, and now I can really finish them off. Even though we weren't able to plant, it's much more important for me to be able to stay alive, and I guess the screen went blank there. I think that was my Xbox trying to fall asleep, and there we go. Look, we're arming now. That's exciting. You see I'm there grenading to try and stop their spawns, and I think we're going to get that. So there we go. So we still have, what's that, 1 minute 20 seconds left on the timer, so we have to defend here. And of course, everyone always says this, everyone knows this, you know, the best way to defend is to try and push up into the other team's base and kind of, you know, you don't have to like overextend and try and get another cap or another bomb explode, whatever it's called in this. You know, you just really need to, you want to be fighting on their half so that if you do die, it doesn't matter. I don't know. The enemy team are, they're arming. The enemy team are arming and they're pushing in. So once again, I know that my team are around here. I don't need to push right onto the bomb. I'm just basically just trying to take out any players as I see them. And what's there? There's like 45 seconds about time left now. So I guess this should be pretty safe for us to kind of say that we've won the game here. It looks like we're picking up some more kills. We might actually be able to push in and get another cap. I can't remember if we did get another cap or not, but it looks like we might be able to do that here. So yeah. Looks like we might be able to do that. So that's pretty much the end of this gameplay here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I kind of decided to try and do what I never used to be able to do, which is kind of just start recording and just talk. I feel like back in the day, I used to very much plan everything I was going to say and wasn't very good at just recording. I think hopefully just by the years of YouTube that I've been doing since my Halo videos, hopefully I've just got a little bit better at that now. And it's still a little bit weird going back to commentating. It's weird watching gameplay rather than playing, because I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video anyway. I've been Stampy, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye!